thanks to the support as a channel member, Rob Pontin. 13 years ago, at the start of this save, we were in the 9th tier of English football. Luton were in the Premier League. Now, we're meeting in the middle. We face off against each other, both of us in a relegation battle to try and stay in the Football League. I'd quite like to beat them, please. Hello and welcome to part 93 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two big relegation battles against Luton and Kettering, both in the league. Since you were last with me, we've had mixed form. We beat Barnet off the back of the Southend victory in the last episode, but haven't won a league game since. We have only lost one of them, though, so I guess that's a positive. We've also navigated our way through the first round of the FA Cup against National League North Sudbury. 40 grand we made for that as well, so that's quite handy. We play Bromley in the next round. Bromley, who are 8th in the league we're in now. We're at home. There's a very real chance we could make our way into the third round of the FA Cup. So expect that to be tomorrow's episode. But for today, it is all about Luton. What a collapse Luton have been on. That was the first season of the save. They finished rock bottom of the Premier League. It took them 4 years to get relegated out of the Championship, 2 years to get back down to League Two. They went back up to League One 2 years later. Only survived a season before coming down to the next one, and now they've been in the relegation battle in League Two for the last several years now. I mean, what a miserable 10 years to be a Luton fan. There was 1 year that was kind of fun. Every other year has been a relegation battle at ever decreasing qualities of football. What a strange football club to be a fan of. Absolute madness. But we head to their place today. Are they still playing at Kenilworth Road? They're not. They're playing at Power Court. So ironically, a better stadium than the one they had when they were in the Premier League, a 19,500 all-seater stadium. And then we play Kettering in the second match. So fingers crossed, beat them both. That'd be super. We are starting to get some of the lone players get a little bit grumpy about not playing enough games. I said in the last episode this might be a thing that is coming. It has come, and we are going to have to deal with that and probably cancel some loans. At the moment, it's not causing a massive problem, although club atmosphere is only average, potentially as a result of having so many players who want to play more games. So that's not ideal. But this is the team for the game against Luton. Wally Muller, by the way, hasn't scored since that first episode of the season, I don't think. So it would be really nice for him to score a goal today. We've got Perini in goal. A back form of Batiromo, Yoshihama, McGinn and Ferguson. Cameron McGinn, by the way, a youngster who's on loan from Dunfermline, who's going to be coming in for James Wiles, because Wiles had picked up a knock. Although that being said, we're going to bring Wiles back in because he's 100% fit. So there's no reason not to play him. So Wiles is going to come in. Bailey and Murray in midfield. Scanlon, McCormack and Wildman behind Muller up front. Let's head down to Luton and hopefully have a lovely old time, said nobody ever. Oh, I wonder if it's near the airport. They've got the lovely little train that goes back and forth between the airport and the train station now in Luton. It's a lovely little thing. So maybe I get to ride on that. That would make this day well worth attending. They've got a Heskey up front, Jaden Heskey, who I think is one of the Heskey offspring. And I imagine they'll fancy their chances today at home against a tiny little team like us. They have made their way out of the relegation zone since the last episode, but they're still very much in the mix, still below us in the league, down in 17th place, 2 points behind us as it stands. So we'll fancy their chances of leapfrogging above us with a victory today. And we would like to push them right back into the problem zone. It's going to be Wiles to take the long throw, finds Murray, back with Wiles again, who drills it across to Muller. And, I mean, it's a good effort from Muller and a good save from the Luton goalkeeper. We've got a corner, and it's going to be Wildman with the in-swinger looking for that far post where the big boys have led. In fact, he's doing a shenanigans corner. It's with Scanlon. And when the AI does shenanigans corners, they always end up in the goal. When I do one, no. Hideous. Absolutely hideous. That's a new string to our bow we've had this season, the short corner. And I've still not seen it work. So I've seen it work against me a dozen times over the last few seasons, but I'm starting to think there's no way for me to actually get it working for my boys because they always get blocked. I guess I need to adjust my defensive corner stuff to get that guy in there doing the blocking. It always blocks against us, but I'm not going to fiddle with that at this stage of FM24. We're 10 months into a 12-month game cycle. I imagine we're going to have a new set-piece creator, or at least something that looks and feels a little bit different in the new UI next year. So I don't need to fiddle too much with it at this stage. Just accept that every now and again we're going to have a shenanigans goal go against us, and I'm going to be sad about it. But it would be quite nice if we could start scoring them. But it seems like we're a long way away from that. And now Luton have scored against us to put us 1-0 down just before half-time. And that's sad. That's very sad. We are still ahead of the Kev ratio, quite comfortably as well. 16 games played, 18 points on the board. So we're ahead of schedule. But this is a game that we'd like to win, please. No, mainly just for bragging rights. I mean, Luton are in this massive all-seater stadium that almost nobody's turned up for. It's a complete contrast to life in the Premier League would have been for them. And I just think it would be funny to have them back down in non-league. It was funny when they were there the first time. It'd be funny if they go back. And oh, they're going to beat me off the back of me saying that, aren't they? They're just knocking the ball around for fun. I think they might be better than us. I don't know how they're in this mess anyway, but it's not like it's just this season they're down in this relegation battle. The last 2 years they've finished towards the bottom end of League Two as well. So they are just not very good, but clearly good enough to beat us because they're 2-0 up now and we just haven't looked in it at all, which is a little bit upsetting. Shall we demand more? We shall demand more, but it's a Luton corner again. And the cross comes over and Parini, I think, has made the save there. In fact, he hasn't. He had it covered, but it's gone behind for a goal kick. So, I mean, look at the state of those match stats. Luton's so far ahead of us, but we're trying some more shenanigans here. I mean, can't you tell we're better at set pieces these days? Sooner or later, we are going to become a set piece team again because we're getting a lot more creative with them. I asked for a set piece coach and wasn't allowed one. But imagine the difference we could make with a set piece coach. But we are certainly trying some stuff that is different to what we were trying back when we were only training part-time. This extra 3 days a week on the training ground, it's not being wasted, boys and girls. Right, we're going to bring Rawlinson on and we are going to drop McCormack back there. And, I mean, it's a very attacking change. Yeah, and we'll make him that. And I think we'll also bring on D'Souza. Why not? And let's forget offer. We're demanding more again. We've got 2 up top and a very attacking central midfield as well. So I'd like to think there's at least a goal in us. It'd be nice to see Muller score for the first time in forever. We just had the inbox message through saying he hadn't scored in 10 games. Rawlinson nods it down to Muller. Muller's in, and he has now scored. That is his first goal in 10 games, and we're right back in it. That was a lovely move. Maybe a strike partnership is in our future with Rawlinson and Muller playing together rather than competing for that starting spot. That's lovely strike partnership work from the two of them. Rawlinson nodding it down to Muller. And let's have another one of those, please. Come on, boys. If we can find a way back in after being so outplayed for so long, this feels like a season where everything might turn out all right after all. Yoshihama. Back to Parini. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. We're not good enough to do this yet. Wiles plays it forward to Shaibu and looking for Wildman, can't find him. And now it's Luton with the ball again. We've given the ball away by trying to be better than we are. But Shaibu wins it back. Good work from him, and he's trying to release Muller. Muller on the right-hand side. He's got Rawlinson unmarked in the middle if he can find him. It's a first-time cross looking for Rawlinson. Can't get to him. But Shaibu had made it all the way back up after initially starting the move, and he is everywhere. He is all over the pitch for us today. He's having a very good game. Not that his rating of nothing would indicate that, but now he's trying the long-range pass. Scanlon, Rawlinson! Oh, my word. Was he offside? I think he probably was offside, but that felt like a bit of a chance. We've certainly been a better team off the back of this change that we've made. We're going to get Kelleher on as well. Scanlon's not having a good game today, so Keats can come on the other side. Neither of these can really play on the left-hand side, but I'm sure Keats can figure it out. He'll be fine. Muller could go out there, but then we're lacking a striker because neither Keats or Kelleher can go up front. As far as I'm concerned, if you can play right wing, you can play left wing. I don't think it's a significantly different skill set. We're going to go very attacking. We're going to demand more. We've got 10 minutes to grab ourselves an equaliser, but unfortunately, it's Luton who've got the football. I'd like to have the football. They've played it over the top of our defence, who obviously are pushing forward as part of the all-out attacking instruction that we gave them. And we were always going to get caught out at the other end if we didn't score quickly with that. I guess it's 3-1. And despite our very best effort, a valiant effort, some might say, the better team today look like they are going to come out with all 3 points, which, I mean, it's what they deserve. But doesn't make me feel any better, right? Only 3 corners for us today. It's very hard to be a set-piece team when you don't win any set pieces. But this does put Luton above us in the league. We're still above the Kev ratio, so I guess we both come out of it happy. We'll be a lot less happy if we fail to beat Kettering, but fingers crossed. That's not going to happen. Right, we're making a couple of changes for the Kettering game. McGinn is going to come in for this one because I've just noticed he's 6'4". So he's going to come in and hopefully be more of an aerial threat for us at the set pieces. We're also bringing Kelleher back in on the right-hand side. Wildman's been rubbish, so Kelleher can come in over there. And we've also got Towner Folks back in at left back because of his set piece delivery from last year. I'm thinking Towner Folks to the big centre back might be a difference maker that we need against a Kettering team that have now scrambled their way out of the relegation zone as well. When I picked these 2 matches for this episode, it felt like it could be 2 nice, comfortable wins. What we've actually got is 2 teams who are starting to climb back up the league. But Kelleher really announcing his return to the starting lineup with a goal inside the first minute and a half of the game. I feel like that boy has decided to prove a point to me today. But I'm giving all credit to Towner Folks for set pieces. I mean, he took the throw. It's Scanlon with the cross, but that's a lovely header from Kelleher. He's done more there than Wildman's done in 5 matches playing on that right-hand side. Kelleher picked up a knock earlier in the year. Wildman came in and has never really took him back out again, but I think Kelleher's back in now, and here's Scanlon, and it's our boys from last year. The 2 wingers from last season have both scored within the first 4 minutes of the match. I mean, fair enough, lads. Who needs all these loans? I always knew Zealand was wrong. It's not about loans. It's about lovely, homegrown wingers. Homegrown asterisk. They might actually both have joined when they were 18, so they might end up being homegrown at club. Not that I imagine we're ever going to need to register them for a Champions League squad, but they might actually officially be homegrown. Not yet, but they will get there if they stay at the club. But they've certainly put us in a strong position today. Kettering still in a bit of a pickle down in that relegation battle, but this would put us to 21 points after 17 matches, which is effectively halfway there as far as points totals go. If we can get to the mid-40s in a league that's got 2 teams relegated, I think 45 points is almost certainly going to be enough for us to survive in the league, and we're only a third of the way through the season and almost halfway there points-wise. So that, to me, seems like a good spot to be in. Rawlinson is now in behind. Can he add a third? He hits the post and it's out to Towner Folks. He's just going to let it go out of play so that he can throw it back in again, I guess. I'm also quite impressed with my beautiful colour vision in this match. Normally, a team playing in red against a team playing in green would cause all kinds of problems, but I guess there's just it's a certain shade of red and a certain shade of green, and I can actually tell the difference between the 2 sets of players, which very proud about. Maybe I've cured my colour blindness. Is there a cure for colour blindness? Maybe the settings are just a little bit off on my monitor. I imagine there's people out there who are also red-green colourblind who are struggling as much as I normally do. But for whatever reason, it might be the socks. We've got the white socks on. Maybe that's what's making us stand out compared to them. And our sleeves are a different shade of white as well. Ours are proper white. Theirs are basically, they look like a dirty grey, their sleeves. Right, McGinn to Bailey, and now McCormack has come deep, playing it out to Scanlon. We're actually playing some good football. This is how a lot of teams have played against us this year. Keeping possession, looking confident on the ball. It shows how poor Kettering are. Kelleher now on the right side. He's already scored 1. He's now going to try and make one. Plays it back to Bailey. And now Ferguson, who's forward from right back. Murray's got space to pick his shot. It's actually hit Rawlinson and then gone up over the crossbar. So it goes behind for a goal kick. But, I mean, it looked like a good chance. Murray had plenty of time to pick his spot, and it seems that the spot he picked was the face of his teammate, which I would argue is demonstrative of poor judgment on his part. But it doesn't really matter because we're 2-0 up, and we're very happy about it, because that leaves us only 4 points outside of the playoffs, but 8 points clear of the relegation zone. Again, I'm not expecting us to be in a playoff battle this year, but you never know. If we were to win, and this is a big if we were to win 3 or 4 games in a row, League Two is the kind of league where that puts you right in the mix, because that playoff picture goes all the way down to 7th place. There's always the possibility of sneaking in. We'd love to sneak in. We'd love back-to-back promotions. I've done it plenty of times before on YouTube, gone from National League to League One in consecutive seasons, because usually there's not a huge difference in quality between the two leagues. It's not what we've found this year, because we've, I think, massively upgraded our squad on what we had last year, yet we're still struggling, and we won the National League last year. So it definitely feels like there's a more significant step up than there have been at times in the past. But not terrifyingly so. Right, we're just gonna do that. Drop back a little bit, and we'll bring him on to play there. And hopefully that little bit of a ever so slightly defensive change doesn't invite Kettering on to come and grab it, get themselves back into the game. I just want to kind of defend the lead. Although we got those 2 early goals, we've not really gone on and dominated the game completely from there. So I just want to make sure that we don't let them back in. Murray, back to Town of Folks, and now Scanlon and Murray again. Murray's had a good game at the base of the midfield, playing it forward to Bartiromo, who is looking for more football. We signed him to be left back. He's playing in midfield now. And there's Muller, and there's Kelleher, and I think the whistle had already gone because we didn't get the goal animation. But that would have been that. That would have been finished if we'd have scored there. But unfortunately, the linesman and his silly flag ruining things for us. Let's make our final changes. Shaibu was good when he came on in the last games. Let's get him on. He can come on for Bailey in there. And then we'll also, I guess we'll bring Wiles on. Wiles can come on for Yoshihama. And fingers crossed, we don't balls up from here. I am very much enjoying the fact that the substitutions don't make us much worse. That's a huge step up from where we were earlier in the season. That's poor from Wiles. So this is why we dropped him. That's what we'll say to him. Good work from Shaibu. I tell you what, I like him. I need to find a way to get him in the starting 11. Murray and Bailey are kind of nailed on, but Shaibu, every time he comes off the bench, really looks like a good player. So I don't know if we need to maybe switch to a midfield 3 rather than having the attacking midfielder in there. Certainly maybe for the bigger games, because Shaibu looks like he's got something about him. He gets about the pitch, puts pressure on players, gets key tackles and interceptions in. My kind of player. But we have won the game. I'm confident saying it now. 3 minutes of added time left. We're going to do another goal here. It's coming for Wiles. He's not able to make proper contact with it. It's out to Kelleher. Kelleher goes to the touchline, finds Muller, and Muller scores. And that is the 3rd goal, the cherry on top of the cake. Wally Muller's back. After 10 games not scoring, he's now got 2 in 2. So he is officially back. And we're very, very comfortable. This is just going to be a nice, boring mid-table season, hopefully. Tell you what would be nice in a nice, boring mid-table season. Cup run. Hopefully we'll have one of them for you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.